Okay, so how do we then manage stress? Because it is really that important. And before even talking about stress management tools, we have to realize that stress comes from so many different avenues. We got physical, emotional, pathological, we got relationships, perceived stress. And all of these things have the same hormonal cascade in our body. So it doesn't really matter if you got injured or if you broke up with someone or someone is abusive in a relationship. It's the same hormones that is pumping in your body. So we have to first of all acknowledge where most of our stress comes from. And from there, we can make adjustments on, or we can implement tools that are going to help you. So if you have emotional stress, a lot of the time people suppress what they're feeling. So suppression doesn't make it go away. Either you would have therapy, or something I promote heavily, which I do myself, is journaling, because it allows you to get your emotions out on paper, you get to process it a little bit, and that is going to help you work with the emotion, which means working on the stress. And you can then find out, what can I do about this? Can I do something about my situation? If the answer is yes, well, we're going to go and do something about it. If the answer is no, leads to what I wanted to talk about next. If we can't do anything about a situation, it is our responsibility to manage our state. And what that means is that if we can't do anything and we're going to feel stressed about it, as I've said, it's destructive. So instead of being destructive, we have to learn to let things go, because there's no point stressing about things we can't do anything about. And then what I want to bring it into is then, how do we manage all of this stress? Well, as I said, first of all, you need to know where it comes from. If it's pathological, you need to have medicine or a doctor or see someone. If it's emotional, you might need to see someone or journaling. If it's work related, you might have to learn how to set clear boundaries. You have to look at potentially getting help from someone, etc., delegating, etc. But then we have the tools that we all should be really focusing on, which is we need to get adequate sleep. That is the very most important thing that everyone needs to be looking into, because that's where most of your hormones are going to be balanced. But then we have things like breath work, meditation, sauna, walking outside. There's so many things that you can do to manage your stress. And one thing that I didn't mention in my previous video was another sign of realizing when you're stressed, because the key is to realize that you're stressed, is that you breathe shallowly. So you're not really filling your stomach with air, and you will breathe very lightly. So the first thing is to realize that you're doing that, and then to start breathing slowly and deeply. Because when we breathe slowly, we are actually forcing our body to come into the parasympathetic state, which is the rest, restore, recoup, and digest. So first thing is, acknowledge that you're stressed by seeing the signs of your body, and then become aware enough from where that stress comes from, and then find a proactive solution to manage that solution, or that problem, because that is the only way you're going to deal with the stress in the first place. So breathe, be proactive, and then let things go that you can't do anything about.